talking a few different things. Mass. String theory. And then a couple other things as well. The horse. Trojan horse, as in Hercules, but Trojan horse specifically for the winning of the season, the winnings of the season, pretty much. The being that is coming back. And remember, the mic is not played through the phone, it's played through here. The Trojan horse, and then string theory, black mass, played. I'm sure many people have heard of this. I mean, going back centuries ago. The black mass has been scolded, and some would even say has been involved with the Knights Templar Freemasonry. And come to think on black mass is basically like the satanic revival, satanic church. And all the cults of the religions have to find somebody to come together, And so just like revival they have in churches, they have the revival of the black mass, the satanic. And from the photos I had seen from the past centuries, there was plenty of sacrifices being made during this black mass. And the messages offering up to their own gods, to Satan, even though a god that they don't believe in. I don't know if all these other religions believe in their exact god that they worship, but I know in the satanic church that they don't believe in the god Satan. They don't. They don't believe he's a real being or it's a real being. I think the satanic goes more of a heterozygous because it represents the man and the woman. It represents the man and the woman. A man or woman, and has that goat thing and is doing this. And so during the black masses, it's like an event. Obviously, different things go on at these events. I've never actually talked to anybody from the satanic church, but I can kind of figure it. And also, everything in Satanism you got to consider is everything that is backwards, and not everything is forward, because it's stolen from the church, Christianity, and the church, the Bible itself, because everything's stolen, it's mimicked, it's always written in its own fashion form, such as even backward baptisms, everything. And I can see how many could accuse the satanic churches, and everything being in these lodges, secret societies being involved in the satanic black masses. Because there's a lot of things that have not been seen, a lot of things that are hidden from the public eye that we don't know about, that a lot of people kind of miscue, maybe are confused on, just don't know about it. And so, just to be clear, keep in mind, I don't know what anybody on here would believe, but the satanic black mass as a whole, and even some of the photos I had seen on this, good morning, even some of the photos I had seen on this, I'd always seen the sacrifices with a woman because I was reading an article online about the Satanic Black Mass, and they said some ceremonies they'll take the woman and they'll flip her around for a mockery or something, and others they use. As sick as it is, they were using children in these old photos and killing these children and sacrificing the woman. That almost sounds like Freemasonry too. A couple of times I've also been into the lodges. I don't know if I'll ever join those lodges. I've been invited, but not to join. A lot of, I don't know, it's something seems off about the lodges to me, in a sense. And that you gotta understand that once he's talking about all these witches that have gone to the revivals, I'm talking about in the thousands. See, they mimic this from the Christian church because the Christian church and its churches have their own revivals as well. So that's their own revivals, the Satanic Black Mass. That's why it's called the Black Mass, because they go there to pray against people, pray for their spirit guides, maybe possibly even the demons or whatever, to go against these other legions that they're fighting against, that they are obviously not on their side. And so you gotta know, I guess you gotta really know where you stand as far as your belief in faith goes. I have met a few Satanists, but I guess they were not too educated on what, I mean, they told me a little bit about it, but as far as I can educate someone, it's just basically it's the revivals of the Satanic Temple and the churches, just like the churches, especially in America, have their own revivals. And so they have to gather in a place, because I feel like once they all get together, they all can, because if you have like maybe one Christian, one Satanist, or one person believes this, it's not going to be as powerful as unless you have the group of people together to come together and fight against whatever force is praying against whatever forces you don't like or trying to come against. Would make more sense to me on the topic, whether if you're on a good side, bad side, or whatever your beliefs are within your own belief system, pretty much. And that's probably my best way, because even though reading through the articles and everything, the best way I can describe it is, and I even heard someone talking about, that the churches have their own revivals, so does the Satanic Church, and some of these preachers, they just call it, it's the Satanic Black Masses. So yes, that's pretty much all it is. It's a revival for the Satanic Temple Church, whatever, and all its people. So, and some of the articles are talking about over 14,000, 20,000 witches will meet, and they will pray. They'll even form pentagrams or whatever else, live fires, I guess. So, yeah. Other things going into string theory, I go into string theory, and you can go back, and I can go back to the graphene of what I was talking about. That even with the graphene, the string theory promotes a message that it's connected with the dark matter. And the dark matter, I would say, goes into the string theory because once Einstein's theory was, I brought it up before, it's talking about taking the universe and you fold the universe in half, fold it in half. And poke a hole through it. Apparently, yes, we have different dimensions, so once you poke the hole, you'll go to form a wormhole to get to other dimensions, other sides, so he claimed. And one has to realize, like, where does the whole thing about dark matter would come from, and going into graphene, because they all connect, that from this physical realm, we're into the spiritual realm, connect, but you can see it brought into our realities by string theory. You could use that as an example from string theory that you would put together, and it all makes sense once you're going from this world to other universes and dimensions and parallel universes, whatever you want to call it. So you would definitely be able to can see something like that happening. So, in my take on it, as far as like wormholes and the parallel universes and dimensions, I do believe we have different dimensions. We probably have about 9 to 12, but different scientists come up with different things of how they view it. So, once I don't know, maybe in the next generation or few years we'll have more knowledge on these things, because apparently CERN is still trying to break down the walls to combust up dark matter to see how dark matter has put together and how our universe was constructed to tear down that wall. So you just gotta know how things are put together and worked, and how everything connects in our world, really. As far as I know, that's what makes sense to me. Yeah, definitely good to meditate on, and really to know how things can connect. I don't know, I would call it like, your connection, and different people, I guess, would have different opinions or just can't think too deeply on it when all this stuff really does, even connect. And even when I was bringing up about fallen angels, about they built their own tribes to outer universe and planets, but today they are definitely hiding technologies that they do not want us to know about. And my belief on that would be underground, but that is another topic for another day. So, but as far as string theory, you see graphene always coming down from the meteorites, and that the meteorites are the example of, it's showing rather than telling, but it's like, you think of things like graphene, ferrofluid, and everything, and all the possibilities of even like liquid armors. I mean, to get off topic, but like going back to the universe and everything, the string theory thing, this connects with it as well. That it's done a lot of things, and saying that we don't have these things like liquid armor from the movie X-Men. Even taking buildings and applying graphene to buildings to make them extra dimensional, which they've already kind of done already. Some of the China buildings in overseas in places like China, Thailand, everything have the printing, 3D, 5D buildings and stuff, buildings that are able to flex in different ways. It's all possible with graphene too. So, and also, it's just so many possibilities that you can think about, and that are really just endless. A lot of aspects of things. And also with the graphene, our universe, and string theory comes the dark matter. How I connected all that with the dark matter, which is also another take of my belief that dark matter exists. Hints of it kind of exists in our universe, but it really goes outside of time and space in itself too. So, yeah, I can see that kind of, that everything is kind of stacked, and but yeah, it does all in a way. It does connect. I don't mean to I feel like a lot of them, Rod, I feel like a lot of these scientists have to push their own narratives about their own beliefs because they sign NDAs and they have to go by the narrative because they can't. I just don't feel like they can really share their real opinions on it. They have to go by the narrative of what is being told to them because they sign like NDAs, the non-disclosures, and they can't share certain information on certain topics. Especially can't share it on their own beliefs, even if they tell you if it's on their own beliefs. That might not be always the case, and even if it is their opinions or their beliefs, it seems rather flip-flop to me, or it doesn't seem like they're asking the right questions, or maybe they know, maybe they don't want to ask them because it's going against the narrative that they're trying to push in a way. That's just how I see this world functions. If you're not going with the narrative, you're gonna get. I mean, you think about all these other scientists, people in our history. They came up with everything that would always help benefit man, everyone in society, and they're always the ones that get shunned. They're But you have other scientists that did other things. They don't get shunned. I think it's just people that tell truth in general are always going to be the ones that get shunned because I guess the way the world works is it doesn't operate on truth. It just operates on its own narrative, basically. It's the way I see it. So, dark matter, string theory, graphene, graphite, everything stacked together as one, but everything does connect in a way because it does have a connection. And like I said, bits and pieces of dark matter because they say dark matter is, I think, about only 10% of our universe. And I'm thinking it does go outside more. Dark matter will travel from outside of time and space into our universe to interact with, I don't know, everything. But as far as physicalities go, as far as dark matter goes, bits and pieces of it break off and turn in to the graphite and the graphene, and then the graphene is extracted out from the graphite, and other things go into it as well. So that's my take. So, Trojan horse, Trojan horse, I would say is symbology for, I'm sure you heard there are Trojan horses and like what Hercules, other things as well. Like it could be represented as a spirit of a warrior spirit, um, the spirit of domination, the spirit of royalty, um, the spirit of allegiance, leadership, yes, royalty, warrior, leadership, um, dignity, um, winning in general, and basically kingship as well. And I should put it in the video, but I think it's more like the symbology of the Trojan horse, which I'm sure it reads differently throughout history, but I would say the symbology of my own belief of Trojan horse. Besides, it's like a warrior spirit, but basically, it it shows us something. It shows us that, to my belief, that no matter where you would come from, no matter who you are in life, you're capable. And like I said, this is just my belief on this. Nothing, no historical facts or anything I've researched or I looked up. It's just my own belief that the Trojan horse symbology is really just more about no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter your background, age, ethnicity, age, whatever, that people are capable of great things, doing great things. But yes, we're also capable of doing bad things as well due to our free will. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about going back to the topic. Yeah, definitely. I definitely because what you're saying, it traces back and everything. But I do believe that. But yeah, I can see that. But Trojan horse, okay. not to be funny, but like to me, it's symbolic for a warrior spirit, and it's just really a representation of the conqueror, of a person conquering the situation, or maybe conquering things in their life. It could be addiction, maybe something traumatic happened to you in your life, and you're just trying to get through it and conquer it, and it's just about overcoming that situation. And you have a warrior spirit of kingship. You have a warrior spirit of conquering. You're a conqueror basically in your life, and it doesn't matter who you are. And so, I mean, just that alone should give a person, faith, hope that they can do different things. We're capable. All human beings are capable of doing great and spontaneous things about life, in our lives, basically. And we, we have to grow to glow to grow, as I always like to say. And you live and you learn. You have to make mistakes in order to learn. But one thing I can say is don't run off of everyone else's narratives, even if it's your school teacher, your boss, everyone else. Don't run off of other people's narratives. Form your own thoughts, form your own ideas in life, because this world is really not full of free thinkers. If you want to know the truth about it, to me, it's not full of free thinkers. Because it seems to me in society, if you can step out of the realms of this world, that you get pushed aside. You're not, it's just like maybe programming. Like I believe in a lot of ways, yes, we are all programming, and we were all being programmed. We're all programmed. It makes me think of AI too, and everything else. And so you could see, going back to the Trojan horse symbology, that deprogramming the way you think to relearn about your own beliefs, asking yourself, well, what are my own beliefs? What do I believe in? What are my own opinions? What are my own thoughts about being a free thinker is what it's really about. And see the Trojan horse symbology of being a free thinker, a conqueror, a warrior, an overcomer of who you really are. And you think for yourself, because once you start thinking for yourself, that's when they're going to say you're stepping out of line. You need to get back in line. You're radical. You're this, you're that. And in many cases, yes, a lot of people are like that now, because it really is due to the programming that we as people have been put under. And if we can actually just start to form our own thoughts, our own opinions, our own beliefs in life, I think, honestly, with that being said, we feel and can be more free and free ourselves of any other bondages we may have had throughout childhood, throughout our past in general, that we were not really in the right state of mind where we feel like we could just be ourselves and think how we wanted to think, and have the thoughts we wanted to have, and do certain things, because you feel like there was always something there weighing us down, weighing us back from being our true selves, true us that we needed to be. So all that makes sense. So going forth on the path that you are destined to become, destined to go down, is the path I would say you need to take, and take. No matter people's opinions, beliefs, or whatever, take the path, take a narrow path that would be and what divides you the most. For sure. Because not a lot of people do that path. They don't even know what it means to take their own path. Well, your own path means, and it becomes you being a free thinker, to freely think for yourself outside of the realm of how others feel or think or believe what you should do. You're going to get opinions left and right. You need to do this, you need to do this. This is not a good idea. You need to do this. Yes, some way it's beneficial, but at the same time, we as human beings need to be free thinkers. And if you feel like you need to have always dreamed of and desired in life all along. We just have to go. We have to sometimes take risks in life, even if we don't want to take them. Take them because what it's actually going to do is put you ahead of the game, put you ahead of other people that may have even been in your own situation, so put you ahead of them in life. And with that mindset, with the right belief, you too can go far in life, in this life as well. Thus, we will construct the topics of string theory, the black mass, and going back to the black mass thing. I was like, it was just their own revivals. The way it's summed up, it is their own revivals according to the satanic temples. And just like any other beliefs and religions, how they gather and come together would be their own masses. Because yes, the satanic temples are associated with the color black. And also, the mass is, think of a mass going out and it's black. That's what it is. And it's like their own revivals, just like other religion and belief. So, and thus constructing the topics black mass, string theory, and the Trojan horse symbology. Thus concluding the video. Topics. Burn us, burn us, burn us, burn us.